Stoic approach to managing expectations without stress. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're tackling a common source of stress and frustration: expectations. Whether it's in our personal relationships, at work, or with friends, we all have expectations of others. But what happens when those expectations aren't met? We end up feeling disappointed, frustrated, or even hurt. What if we could manage those expectations and maintain our peace of mind? Enter Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that offers practical tools to help us adjust, adapt, and ultimately find peace amidst the expectations of others. In this video, we'll explore how Stoic principles can help you navigate this challenge with wisdom and emotional resilience. So if you're ready to gain a new perspective on managing expectations, stick around, because this video is for you. Number 1. Recognize what you can control. The foundation of Stoic philosophy is understanding what's in your control and what isn't. When it comes to relationships and interactions with others, it's essential to recognize that we can't control how people behave, what they say, or the decisions they make. What we can control is how we react to their actions. Epictetus taught that we should focus on our own thoughts and responses, rather than trying to force others to meet our expectations. When we set realistic expectations based on this understanding, we reduce frustration and disappointment. By accepting that we cannot control others, we free ourselves from the burden of expecting them to act in certain ways. So the first step in managing expectations is to remind yourself, what's beyond your control should not affect your peace of mind. Number 2. Practice acceptance and flexibility. A major Stoic principle is the idea of acceptance, embracing reality as it is, not as we want it to be. When it comes to managing expectations, this is key. We often get upset when others fail to meet our expectations, but Stoicism teaches us to accept people as they are, not as we wish them to be. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself in his meditations that people have their own paths, struggles, and imperfections. If we set rigid expectations that others should behave a certain way, we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. Instead, by being flexible and adaptable, we can navigate life's challenges with more ease. This doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior, but rather accepting that people are flawed and won't always act according to our desires. By practicing acceptance and adjusting our expectations accordingly, we can reduce frustration and approach relationships with a more balanced mindset, grounded in reality rather than fantasy. Number 3. Reframe your expectations. Stoicism encourages reframing, which is a powerful tool when managing expectations. Often, our frustration stems from the gap between our expectations and reality. We expect people to meet our needs or behave in ways that align with our desires, but when they don't, disappointment arises. One Stoic method is to reframe these expectations by focusing on the virtues we want to cultivate, rather than focusing on external outcomes. For example, instead of expecting someone to always agree with you or fulfill your needs, reframe the situation by considering the opportunity to practice patience, tolerance, and understanding. Reframing allows you to change your perspective on a situation and view it as a chance to grow, rather than as an obstacle. This Stoic practice enables us to let go of rigid expectations and approach life with more grace and adaptability. By reframing our mindset, we can see the actions of others through a lens of growth and mutual respect, rather than frustration. Number 4. Let go of the desire for approval. One of the main causes of unmet expectations is the desire for approval from others. We often expect others to validate our choices, actions, or values, and when they don't, we feel disappointed or hurt. Stoicism teaches us to free ourselves from the need for external validation. Epictetus encouraged people to focus on their own virtues and inner qualities rather than seeking external approval. When we let go of the need for validation from others, we can approach interactions without the pressure of expecting people to agree with us or meet our personal standards. This reduces the emotional weight of others' actions and gives us the freedom to live according to our own values, not the approval of others. By detaching from the desire for approval, we become more self-reliant and less affected by the behavior or opinions of others, which is key to managing. Number 5. Embrace impermanence. In Stoicism, the concept of impermanence teaches us that everything in life, including relationships and interactions with others, is temporary. People will change, situations will evolve, and expectations will be unmet from time to time. The Stoics remind us that accepting the fleeting nature of life helps us manage our expectations with a healthier mindset. When we hold on to rigid expectations of others, we can set ourselves up for disappointment, as people change and grow in unpredictable ways. Marcus Aurelius often meditated on the impermanence of life, reminding himself that nothing stays the same forever. This wisdom helps us understand that unmet expectations are part of the natural ebb and flow of life. By embracing impermanence, we can release attachment to specific outcomes and develop greater flexibility in our relationships. We learn to navigate changes and accept that people, like everything else, are transient. This Stoic perspective allows us to move through life with greater peace, regardless of how others behave. Number 6. Focus on virtue. In Stoicism, virtue is the highest good, and focusing on it helps manage expectations effectively. Instead of expecting others to act in specific ways, Stoics teach us to focus on cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance within ourselves. By aligning our actions with these virtues, we set a standard for how we respond to the world around us, rather than depending on others' behaviors or outcomes. When we focus on virtue, we place less importance on external events and more on our own character and responses. This internal focus shifts our perspective from seeking approval or validation to living according to our principles, allowing us to manage expectations with clarity and inner peace, regardless of others' actions. Number 7. Expect to leverage your own resources. In Stoicism, one key principle is to rely on your own resources rather than expecting others to fulfill your needs. This means cultivating self-sufficiency, emotional resilience, and inner strength. When we place our expectations on others, we often set ourselves up for disappointment, as people can't always meet our desires or provide what we want. By focusing on leveraging your own abilities, whether it's your emotional intelligence, problem-solving skills, or self-discipline, you create a foundation of independence. Stoicism teaches that the power to shape your own happiness lies within you. Instead of waiting for others to meet your expectations, turn inward, trusting in your own capacity to navigate challenges and maintain your peace, regardless of external circumstances. Managing the expectations we have of others can be challenging, but with Stoic principles, we can navigate these situations with greater ease and emotional resilience. By focusing on virtue, leveraging your own resources, and understanding what is within your control, you can transform the way you approach relationships and interactions. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that peace comes from within, not from the actions of others. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who could benefit from these insights. I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you manage your expectations? Drop a comment below, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll explore more Stoic wisdom for everyday life, managing expectations effectively.